Hello students, this is Varun Kumar and today we'll cover the most useful Linux commands that you can use on your Linux server. And most probably you'll find out that you are using these commands every day, more than every day, whether you are installing a package or uploading your website or anything, whatever you are doing, you will use one of these commands once in a session. I'm repeating again, you will be using any one of the commands once in your server session. So this is our AWS homepage. I believe in cloud and AWS, so I'm an AWS user from past 4 years, and I found AWS pretty much cool and awesome. I suggest you to use AWS if you want your VPS, or if you want your more control on servers. I am launching an instance very quick and fast. I love the Amazon Linux ME, so I'm selecting it. If you want to know how to use and what are these options, you can go for my AWS a video on my YouTube channel. The first video I uploaded about AWS, where I have explained Nginx server. You can find more about these options, but right now I am going very fast because this video is only about the Linux commands that were very useful for our Linux server. So this is the request of one of my subscribers. So this video is on request. So if you want any of your video, you can request me in comments. We are using key value paired, not this, just magic. So I am opening it. So review and launch. So I want just to launch this. I think if I will create a new key pair. So key pair name is command, and download this key pair. So this is downloaded. What my Mac does is always it renames it as a text file. So what I will do is, firstly I will place it in my desktop and I rename it as PEM so that we can use it. So this will use PEM. So now I'm able to launch instance. So it will take very few seconds to launch my instance. Let's view instances. So it's all opening. So last there was just tackle with PrestaShop. I was checking out PrestaShop, so that was I think I created first launch time 2018, and I firstly created this was my one of the first servers. So I first created, if it shows when it was firstly created, I think it will not show this launch time. Okay, no, it will not show, but I remember I just created this on the very first my very first AWS setups 2, 3, 4 years ago. So the instance is running and it's on status checks. So let's open iTerm, my favorite terminal on Mac, and we can connect it via SSH, and the identity file we are having it on the desktop, so I am picking it up. So you can use this shortcut F11 to go to the desktop anytime. So this is a shortcut, but I am using this command, but it will not let us connect. I'll show you why this happens. So EC2 user @ if you know how we can connect with the AWS instance, you can watch my first video about AWS, so you can know about how to create instances, how to connect to them. But with this command it will not let us do. I'll show you why. Yes, so it's letting me connect. So no, not letting, because the permissions of this file are very open. Anybody can execute. So 644 are too open. We have to change the permission to 400. So there's a command sudo chmod, but we will not cover the chmod command today. This command will be covered in our next lessons. So today is we are covering very basic commands on the Linux. These commands may be also used on some of the Mac. Some commands are common with the Mac, and also some commands work on shells, other shells. So we are just talking about RPM based Mac Linux. Okay, so I have to enter password for my Mac. So now this time it will let us connect. Yeah, so it's connected. So the first command is ls command. Ls command is used to list the directories, what directories we are having it. So there is no file here, so let's go back to the root. So ls will show us all the files. So we have more options to make this command more powerful. This command, you can add option lsl for giving that will give you more information about the files. It will show us the permissions, file permissions. D stands for directory, R means it's writable by the owner, X means executable, and it's after the first section, so it's executable by the group user, and readable. So these are we'll cover some other day. We'll cover these options some other day. It's just very basic. So we'll find out the file permissions, then the ownership, who is the file owner, then size of the file in bytes, and the name of the file and when it was created. So it's very easy. So you can use this command by ls option L, and also we can go to the our home directory by cd, and we'll cover this command next. It's our third command. So lsl, ls will not show any file here because there is no file here, but there are some hidden files here. So if you want to list them, we can use ls -a. So this is option. So now we can use both the commands like I have explained here. So we'll cover all these commands today. So the last option, we can use both the options, like here ls la. This will show us a list of files and directories along with the hidden files, and also their information, like what permissions do they have, what are their file permissions, who is the user, and what memory do they take, and when they were created. So this is all about the ls command. So if you have any questions, you can ask me in comments. And the same command, most probably my favorite command is ll. All of my students find in my lab that I use ll very every time. So ll command, it does exactly the same that lsl does. So let's go to the root. So lsl will show us the information about the files. ll will do exactly the same thing. So this was the ll command. So let's check out cd command. Cd command used to change directories, like wherever I am wandering, wherever I am going. So whatever is my directory, we can go to our home folder by using cd. So now we are in the home folder. So this symbol shows we are in home folder. We can check pwd by using present working directory. Now we are in a home EC2 user. So I have not written this command here. I think I have to write this command also here, like pwd tab. Present working directory. So this command is also basic and useful. So pwd tells us where we are. So let's go to the root again. So cd commands asks for the path where you want to change your directory. So now we are in the root. Pwd will tell us we are in root, and LLL will tell us what are the files and folders, what are files and directories here. But if we use only cd without providing any file or without providing any directory name, it will take us back to the home directory. So now using LL, there is nothing, and pwd will tell us home EC2 user. You can traverse through your previous used commands via up key on your keyboard. So let's move on to the next command, which is mv. Mv command used to move files or directories, but before this I think we have to use touch or mkdir file. So I think we have to move this command a little up, because these commands are only useful if we are having some files or folders in our directory. So touch vi mkdir. So these are the files. Now we have more powers before the commands we are using. So let's use the touch command. Touch command will make some files for you. You can make any empty file using touch command, like we are using site study txt. So if you want to make a text file, or you can make a site study.php file if you are working on PHP files, if you are hosting your PHP website on your Linux server, and or .html if you are hosting the static HTML pages. So these three commands would have made three files for us, which is sitestudy.html, sitestudy.php, sitestudy.text. So these commands are used to make empty files. Touch command is used to make an empty file. So there is vi command, which is used to create or edit files. This is one of the my most favorite editor throughout my life. I love vi editor because it increases my powers of using the shortcuts via single key. So let's open the use the vi command and open one of the files we have created via touch. So let's open via vi site study.txt. So for entering any data, we use vi. So let's cover some of the. I didn't want to cover the shortcuts, so I think we have to cover, because it's pretty much interesting. So 1 2 3 4 5 command C for the I for inserting, and for writing. So not inserting, for insert mode, and escape. So behind the scenes I have added these helpful shortcuts, or we can use keys which will help us in the vi. So if we want to insert any data, we must go in the insert mode. we can go in insert mode using I. So now you can see here it is written insert. So now we are in insert mode, so we can write anything here. I think we have added text. So site study is has started uploading the videos again. So pressing the escape key, it will take us back to the previous mode. So we are back now. Pressing the colon, shift colon, so we can write this command by W. So written 50 characters written, so it's showing us 50 characters written. So quitting, we can use quit, or also we can use both of these commands at the same time with the help of W and Q. So it will write to the file and quit simultaneously. So this is the VI command we have for this is the uses of VI command. We can view or edit contents of file. Now it's showing 50 bytes. The file contains 50 bytes. We can also create new file using VI. So let's make a file, site study dot what type of file we want to create. Site study dot readme. So we can create dot readme. So a new it's showing new file here. Let's see, students, there is new file here. So for going in insert mode, press I. So this is just a new file without touch. So we have to press right for writing, so it's written, and Q for quitting. So using the LL command, it shows 5 files. So this is pretty much awesome if we are using these commands. So you will find you are using one of these commands once in a session. It's definite. So let's move on to the next command, which is mkdir, make directory. So we can make a directory using mkdir command. So we can name it new folder LL. So it's blue, so that's why we can find it folder, but it's not blue because it's a folder. It's blue because of the file permissions. So by default it I think it may have 755 and it's 644 I think. So that's why it's blue and it's white. So yeah, that's a folder. So to move on to change your directory to new folder, you must use new folder. Yeah, so it's pretty much easy and awesome. Let's start with the next command, which is mv. So now I think we are having four files. Two of them are having data, and two of them are having two out of them are empty. Let's make new directories. One is data and other one is empty. So we'll move the files having data into data folder and empty files into empty folder. Let's see how we can do it. Use mv, then name of the file, site study dot txt to data. So it will move the text file to the data, and again we can use this same command on dot readme. So now we can see that these files are gone and moved into the data folder. So let's do the same thing to the empty files. mv site study dot html to the empty folder, empty, and again same with the php. So let's see, there's no I think what happened to it is empty. It has renamed the file. It's renamed the one of the files, I think cd empty. So cd empty. First I'll remove the empty, rm empty. So mv command is also used to rename the files. I'll show you how. Files and directories both. cd empty. Let's find what file has been renamed. Oh, both the files were renamed. I think we have used the wrong. Okay, we have used the wrong spellings, so it has renamed the files. So let's make these files again. Touch site study.php and touch site study.html. Yeah, pretty much awesome. And we can move these files using mv site. And one more thing, I am going to cover this helpful star in the next after the 14th command, but I think this is the right time to tell you what this star does. So if we want to move all these files which are starting from side and there are study that is whatever it is having after the side, so these both files are side, but there are the these files are same by the first 4 characters, so we can move both the files with the help of this powerful star asterisk, or we can also say it asterisk, but I use star. So a side to move all the files that starts with side to emty. So I think we have named the folder wrong, so it's also an opportunity that I'll show you how we can rename the folder via mv command. So we have moved all the side files to the empty folder, cd emtpy, not empty, it's empty. So these files are moved here. So cd ... to move out the one folder up. So let's rename the folder via mv command. So we can also rename the files via for files all as well as directories via mv command. We can rename it as emtpy, old file or directory name with emtpty. So it has renamed the old file. It haven't renamed, but just move all the contents to the new folder, so which is also a rename. So let's have a look on the copy files. So we have covered till here to the mv its command. So let's find out what cp command does. Think for a situation where you have to copy all the empty files to the data folders. At that time, what you have to do is cp emtpy pty empty slash site study dot txt. No, there's no text here. I think it's php there, to data folder. So it will copy the site study.php from empty folder to the data folder. So it's the thing. Let's check the data folder. So yeah, it has copied the empty file here. And one more thing, you can check the contents of empty folder from this directory also by using this dot slash. It takes us out of this folder, and now we'll type empty. Now it's showing the files and the contents of the empty folder. So this is a trick, or these are commands how these are used for. So these are used as by using folder or directory paths also. So let's move on to the next part, how we can also use the cp command. We can use the most helpful star for this purpose also, for copying all the files. So let's copy all the files from the data folder here by using cp data /star for copying all the files, or we can use only side study and star. It will match the 6 characters of all the files and copy only the files which matches these 6 characters. So I'll show you the new magic here. Let's go to the data folder, make a file mkdir odd1 dot text. So this is the odd1 file. I think we have made it a directory, so we have to remove it. Rm odd1.txt. I think it will not remove without using the r. I think rmr. We have to use rmr. So it's a directory. We have to use rmr to remove it. So let's make a file touch odd1 dot txt. So this file is odd1. So let's just go out or just cd into data. So we can also use cp side star. It will copy only these 3 files because it matches the pattern of first 4 characters, and where we want to copy it to one directory up. We can use this cd using // so it will copy all the files to one folder up. So I think helpful star, and also there is a helpful dot and helpful dot. So dot stands for this directory and dot stands for, I think we have to cover it here, dot. So we can remove them. So helpful star, dot and dot. So these are very much helpful, and with all the commands, with the basic commands, you may find that you are using these dot, star and dot every time. If you found the usage properly, and its powers, it's very much powerful. It will help you to write all the file name, and will relax your keys. You have to do less work. So it's very much powerful. The star is also true, we have to copy the file which starts with side and ends with the HTML to here from the empty folder. Let's take a look how we can do this. cp empty, we are using the full path again. I am using these commands in many ways so that you can clearly understand its uses and how these are more powerful. So cp empty star side empty/side star HTML. So now it will match the starting and ending of the pattern and copy it here. Dot stands for this directory where we are. Also dot stands, we can say that dot stands for pwd, present working directory. It will copy these files here. So let's take a look. Yeah, HTML file is copied. So star is very helpful and powerful. So you can find it in this commands I have shown you. So let's take a look. cp, we have used copy files and directories recursively. Let's take a look. Let's go to the empty folder, cd empty, so there is no folder here. We want to copy cp by cp // we have gone one folder up, data, to this directory. I think this will not let us do because it has omitted the data folder because it's a directory. So we can use the R modifier, R option, to copy directories using cp command. You can find that R stands for recursive mode. This R option is used pretty much commonly with loads of the commands. With the ch mode, it is used as a capital R, but R most of the time stands for recursive use. That this will copy not only the data folder, but also it will copy the contents of all the contents of the data folder to this directory. So let's make a ll. So now data folder is here inside the empty. Let's cd into data and ll. So there are all the files and the data folder also. Checking the pwd, the data folder is in home ec2 user /empty/data. So let's go to the cd. It will take us back to the home directory. So pwd, so we are in the home directory. So there are lots of files. So now we were here cp, and one of the command is man, which is very useful. Sometimes I forget what command is used, and we are not when we are not clear with the commands, we use man and then type the name of the command. So it will show us the manual. So the J and the K are used for going up and down. So H for help and Q for quit. So also there are the command is explained in very details. We can find the each and every option of the command. So I have only explained one of these options, but if you want to know all of the options, it's inside your Linux server. So let's just quit this command, and we'll use this command again using for the mv man mv. So this is the file for move rename files. Yeah, again they are explaining that this is also a rename command. So for quitting for q, so yeah, we have covered up to here. Yeah, so now we are at the rm command. I think I have shown you this, but I'm showing you again. So rm is used for removing the files like site study.php. So rm will remove this. Also we can remove multiple files, like we can use the helpful star here, rm site study. I don't want to type the study, so I'll side and l. So it will match first 4 characters and the last one l, so which is this file only. So this will remove this file. So let's take a look. So this has removed this file. Also we can use rm star to remove all the files. So this will all the files, and this will not remove the directories. Yeah, once again, this will not remove the directories. We can remove the directories with rmr, which is a recursive option to remove the directory and content of the directory, like this. So this will remove the data folder as well as the contents of it. But before this, I'll show you that star has already removed the files. So cd data, and there are files and directories in the files in the data, and let's make rmr data. So this will remove the data and its content. Also this is true for rmr and star. This will remove everything in this directory. So this has removed everything. Now we are at the place where we started but with some information. We are at the same place where we started, but now with some information how to use these basic commands. And I think we have lots of junk. We have created lots of mess. So clear command will do the clear, but this will not actually clear. This will clear the current screen. So clear command is used to clear the screen. It's very useful whenever you get a broken pipe connection to your server while you are in vi editor, or you are in some manuals, so the terminal don't clear up, so you can use the clear command for this. So we have covered up to 12. So df command, I'm a fan of this command. Df command tells you the storage information in your Linux server, where you can find out how much space you are using and what space is free. And it has an option of dfh to showing all the values in megabytes and gigabytes, so which is easily understandable. So nobody is happy with these numbers, so it's easy with the human readable syntax of megabytes and gigabytes. So let's move on to the next, which is free command. Free, not fee, it's free. So free command tells us the RAM, about RAM, what RAM is free used and how much it is free. So free dash m will also tell us in megabytes, like dfh. So it's free dash m, so it will tell you in megabytes. Like we have used 1 GB server, and it's 425 GB used, and it's 720 GB is free. So there is no swap, so that's why one of my videos I'll show you how you can add swap storage to your Linux AWS. And free m we used helpful star, we also covered this, and dot and dot. So there is one best there are lots of jokes on internet about the sudo command, like the servant don't obey his master, then he ask the same instruction with sudo, then the servant obeys his command. So there are lots of, you can find lots of jokes on sudo command. So let's use the sudo command. What sudo command does is, let's take I am not going a deeper dive on sudo, because this is very basic session about the Linux commands. So sudo is I think high level command. So making a new file by using touch new, so there is new file name new, and I am creating sudo touch and new one. So take a look that this command has been ownered by EC2 user, and the owner of this command is root. A sudo command is used to run every command as a root user. Administrator also root user, or administrator. The in the Windows we use admin, and in the Linux we name it as root. So the both are the same terms. So sudo commands are used for this. Sudo command is used to run any of the command at root user. Whenever some command you don't have permissions for they did anything, then you can use this as a sudo. Let's go to the directory root. So let's make a touch new file. So there is permission derived. So we try to create two new files with name new and file. We can make these files by first of all we'll check that these files are not created. So we can create this file by using sudo touch new file. So it created the file. So sudo increases your parse to do anything you want with your server. So but if you are only having the root access and you are a sudoer, so we'll cover these things in our future sessions, but just consider that you must have a root access, or you must be a sudoer. Or then we can if we want to remove the file, new file, I think it will remove new file, remove write protected. Yes, no, it will not let us do this, because the root permissions are only the root. We are on the folder with only root permissions, so we can only remove the files. Once again I'm trying rm new file, it will not let us do this file again by typing yes. So we can do this via sudo rm new file. You may be in any situation where you know what you're doing, but the file permissions don't let you do this. You can use the sudo command. So let's go to our home folder again. So we are rm star to clean up and clear the screen. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this session. We'll come up with new videos very soon, and please subscribe to this channel if you want more videos like this. Ask your questions in the comment box, and also give your suggestions, and best of luck for being a server admin.